funded project I've been able to see come through really our entire region. But a little bit of background on what we're here today to speak with you about is, as Mr. James noted, one of the items in talking with the federal partners, GDOT, everyone has said that we need to try to work towards advancing some of the concept planning work about how ultimately we want to have the trails tie together, including tying that into community planning goals. And one of the items that was worked on last fall was ultimately advancing a planning study to go in and look at this. This was even before we found out the funding was coming in. We knew that it needed to be done. And one of the models that we wanted to follow is the Chattahoochee Riverlands. And I don't know how many of you all are familiar with that, is that ultimately ARC worked on a Riverland study for all the way from Beaufort Dam into Carroll County, about 100 miles. And it led to some actual really community growth and transportation recommendations that's been implemented and are being implemented. And where we think this can or will add a lot of benefits to the communities on the south side is going to be they've been extraordinarily successful working with nonprofits and such. They developed this vision about how to grow and pull in the trails together. And they've been able to bring in about $250 million of investments along this Chattahoochee Riverlands from nonprofits and such. And that's, we think, would be for the community a great model to follow, to help harness some other investments even above and beyond what we've been able to see come in with the federal grant. And those are just a few graphical images of that. So ultimately, we've recommended that all the communities pursue this vision development plan because it may take, unfortunately, the challenge with federal funds, it may be 18 months before we start to see the funding come in for the Reconnecting Communities grant. Could be a year. We're going to try to get it done under contract as quick as we can. But we don't want to wait that long. We want to get the community planning effort underway. And as you can see, we've been engaging with all the community partners. ARC will pay with 80% of the funds for the overall study, but we're required to match those by 20%. And as you can see in the budget, this local match here, Clayton County's willing to give the largest majority of the funding for this match. And we were working with the various cities, East Point, Hapeville, and of course here at College Park, recommending that you all also be funding partners for this match of $15,000. And Aerotropolis is also bringing $5,000 to help on the match as well. So at the end of the day, we think this is an exciting, great project. I believe it's going to really lay out some critical infrastructure, and then you can imagine all the possibilities that are in place tying in College Park to the Atlanta Beltline. It's just got I think it's a remarkable, absolutely remarkable planning concept that we're going to be able to get pulled together. Like I said, we know even that amount of funding, the $65 million, we can't construct everything. A lot of it's going to be design and such first, but we're very excited. Mr. James, did I leave anything out that you might want to add?
No, you spot on, John. I think you hit all the points.
So, Mayor, Council, I'll turn it back to you and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much. Councilmember McKenzie?
Well, first of all, John, I want to thank you for coming out, and Shannon, thank you so much. I have been excited about the Flint River project since 2017, and I wasn't even on this council. So to be able to participate in this and help to see it through at this time is really exciting for me. But what's even more exciting than our, I mean, I don't even know if I can say it's more, but I think it's equally is, in the Flint River Preserve Project, is this tying into the Beltline. As I visit several of the communities now that have the Beltline running through them, we're seeing amazing things, and several of my residents and some of our persons that live in the city that are not in my ward, we go different places, and we've been like, why can't we have this in College Park? So the opportunity to be connected to the Beltline, the opportunity to have this funding for our Flint River Preserve, but also this opportunity to connect with other communities. I mean, this is major. I mean, this is going through the state of Georgia. I mean, pretty much a big piece. And so I'm really excited. What's this, 400 miles? The Flint River itself is several, is it 100? I get my miles all mixed up with how long, but just looking at this Beltline piece is huge in the metro area. So I just feel like I'm being connected to a project, connected to cities, connected to communities, but also this project is connecting us throughout other parts of the state of Georgia. So I just want to say thank you. I don't have any questions because I've already bombarded Shannon with everything that I have, but I want to thank you both for coming out today and sharing.
Absolutely.
Councilmember Carr?
All right, thank you, John, for coming out. Shannon, I got a couple of questions. So what percentage of this 64.9 million is College Park looking to have a slice of that in exactly?
I do not have a breakdown of the precise funding on that, but it would be the scoping work primarily going from, let's see here, all the way down to the MARTA station here in the city. Yeah. But it's relatively the largest part of certainly the construction's going to be in East Point. Getting the trail down down to the city. That's going to be probably the largest amount of the funding would be for that segment heading down to Willingham.
Well, I'd like to see a breakdown of that 64.9 to see what
Sure.
our share is compared to the other cities. Now, how many miles of the entire 16 would be in College Park's borders? About.
The total mileage would be ultimately, we do not have it on this segment. I think that or on the slides today, it's about like, ultimately to get down to into East Point from the Beltline is going to be about 2.5 miles. And then there's about another 0.7 of a mile to get the trail down to Willingham. And then there's like about 1.5 miles, about a mile over in Clayton County. And then the rest of the segments would be in scoping, engineering development.
I'd like to get just a breakdown of that entire 16 miles so we can know how much of that is us.
Sure.
So those two questions. Now, we talked around this 7 acres that we're looking at purchasing from MARTA. Now, I'm hearing rumors about this acreage being in need of a Brownsfield cleanup. I had heard that possibly there was an environmental that wasn't up to snuff. So what's the story on it?
Are you referring to I'm not familiar with that exact project on, are you?
That's talking about the Willingham Drive Park. Yeah, from an EPA perspective, this project wouldn't have any funding for cleanup, if that answers the question.
Okay, so looking at that, and Shannon, we talked about that, so we've got to look at that and figure that part out.
I'm with you.
All right, so it's a great project, but if we need a little cleanup, we're going to have to do some cleanup, and we're on a budget. I don't think we put that in the budget, Dr. Emanuel, so we're going to be relying on y'all to come up with some help on that. Being that 7 acre MARTA plat is partially in the city of East Point, are they contributing to that segment at all, segment 3? Or,
Segment 3 you're referring to?
I think that's us, you know.
Go back. Oh, that segment 3 is actually, yes, the city had received a grant request we had funded at ARC to basically build a multi-use trail there.
East Point, yes.
Yes, right in front of the MARTA station.
The East Point Martin Station.
Yes.
Okay. And that's a ways away from from where we said the headwaters are in Willingham, right?
Right, and that segment in purple there, you can,
4A, 6A.
yes, you can see that would be a construction phase that would basically get it all the way down into the, heading towards the city of College Park.
Okay.
Right.
I think most, if not majority of that is College Park, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think, we're well down at College Park there. Looking at your document here, this MOU, and I'm looking at it, I took a read at it, and I guess it's important to look at it because I'm assuming this is something you want us to sign eventually, is that right?
Yes, sir, that's our recommendation.
Well, let's talk about that. Packet page 18, section B, partners. And we're all partners, of course, goes without saying. Now, obviously, I see you have the different committees and so on and so forth. All right, so I'm assuming that we, as a city, will appoint our own representatives to serve on this project management team as well as the executive committee, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I
No,
just
no,
want-
that's not correct. So
Okay, I'm hearing
The
yes
For
and no.
18B?
for that is, those are the highest elected officials and the chief operating officer of Clayton County. I think it was positioned that way when we first started the process.
Well, not according to this document. If you look on packet page 19, under section 3, project management and coordination, you've got project management A1, executive committee. The executive committee members shall consist of partners' leadership. An example are mayor, chairman, president, and CEO. That doesn't say it shall be that particular lineup. If we're a partner city, we're gonna select who's gonna be on our partner's leadership team. So, just like any other sovereign organization, I'd imagine, so, and this says we get one representative from each partner organization. So, the executive committee, we're gonna select a member for that.
And those are executives, Councilman Corn. I just want to be distinct about that.
Like the
Understood.
chief executive officer?
Just like the president, CEO,
Okay.
the chairman. I mean,
Well,
those are.
our executive definition is not exactly reads like a business's definition of that. Technically speaking, our chief executive is the city manager that handles the
That
day.
is actually not correct.
Well,
Our charter
everybody
reads
is,
that the chief executive
entitled to
is
their
me.
opinions.
That actually reads me.
Understood.
I know.
And this says.
That's not an opinion, that's just a fact.
And this says, for example. And it clearly says, for example.
It is. I
Well-
think the conversation has been, and when we structured it, and that, I think we gave those examples to be pretty distinct about the position, so that's why you see executive level. folks.
Understood. Well, I consider our city manager an executive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
He's the
we're-
administrative
we're-
officer. I'm the executive
I
officer.
thought I had the questions, please, with all
But you
due
know what?
respect,
I
if
know,
could-
with all due respect, I'm not gonna have you, share exactly, I mean, I'm not gonna have you misalign who I am. And I'm the mayor and the chief executive of this city. And so that actually reads in the charter. So I wanna make sure that that's clear moving forward, so no one has any questions about that. Thank you, sir. Please proceed.
If I can finish my comments, again, this gives an example. This city is gonna select who's gonna be on the executive committee based on what this city and this body sees fit in terms of handling that. Project management team, so each outfit gets one representative for that as well, in addition to the executive committee person. Is that what?
I think it's just one group, which is the executive committee. I'm not
Okay,
sure there's any
'cause-
other
'cause
second,
part-
third groups.
Okay, I want it to be clear, because part
Yeah.
one says executive committee shall consist of partners leadership, and then the project management team shall consist of one representative from each partner organization, appointed by the executive committee member. So that sounds like two, if I'm reading it correctly. So at some point, city attorney, we want to kind of get clarity on that. Last thing I got was, don't get me wrong, this is a great project, and I know we had some issues at first, but being that we got funding through our federal partners, we're definitely on board.
Fair questions, fair.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I've been through a lot of these documents in the past. Now, I see that, you know, where we're all at is, you know, where we are, you know, are we the only, we're purchasing land in order to make this happen?
Over the
in
long
terms
term, there will be right-of-way needs, but as part of the overall Reconnecting Communities grant, there would not be, I don't think, right-of-way purchases required. Certainly, with the study, we don't, I think, know precisely what would need to be purchased as of yet for trail work. So we're not quite to that point yet.
I was referring to the property that it looks like we are going to have to purchase from MARTA to make this work, if that's my understanding. Is that right? That's what
Different project.
So,
But this is not connect to that.
so great
Flint,
question,
finding the
Councilman
Flint.
Corn. I think you're
Just wanna
thinking
make
about it the right way holistically.
Right.
The project, it doesn't yield the greatest impact if the park is not acquired.
Exactly. So this is very much connected to that. It's a part of making this happen and making it work.
Absolutely. Spot on.
So us making that purchase, when I was looking at the breakdown of the cost, all of our neighboring cities, 15,000. Obviously, with us having to make that purchase to make this work, I would imagine College Park's got a little more skin in the game than the others. So just something to look at, you know, we all 15, hey, I don't think they're having to purchase 7 acres. So I just want to throw that out there for consideration. You know, we're a partner, but we're not all equal partners. That's just a matter of the facts. So
I think we're pretty
on
set
board.
on the 15 to keep it equal. It's a flat number.
All right, well, we're definitely putting a little more in than that if we're going to make the purchase, which I think we are. So that's all I got. I just wanted to put that out there and make sure, you know, we had an understanding of where we're at. And we definitely appreciate it. So if I can get those questions answered, that'd be great.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And I just want to add to Councilman Corn's questions, we didn't talk about Hateville and East Point and Clayton, but everyone's doing individual or independent work in conjunction with the project. So like the park for College Park, that's independent of this project, but it is in conjunction too, right? They're not mutually exclusive. So I just wanted to point that out, right? East Point's doing some stuff, Clayton County's doing a lot, Hateville's doing some stuff, and College Park is too. So we're all collectively contributing.
Okay. And we're all in. Don't get me wrong. I just want to make sure that
Oh, yeah.
the T's are crossed. All right. Okay.
Councilmember Arnold.
Thank you, gentlemen. This was a very informative information session, and I'm excited about the project.
Councilmember Gay.
Just a couple questions. The money you all are looking to get, that goes to ARC, or is that, who gets the money?
The matches, the short story is yes, it would go to ARC that we would collectively utilize to select a consultant to help conduct some of the regional planning work along this corridor. Yes, sir.
And since ARC is an entity with millions of dollars that give out money, why are we giving ARC money to do a study that they do?
We do get some funding in from the federal government that does come to ARC, but all of it requires a 20% match, which we don't have set aside.
Okay.
Good question. Of
That's
course.
fair. I just want to be clear for the record. You say holistic and mutually exclusive, but the bottom line is the finding the Flint project council members it's not contiguous with this. It's that they're not touching. It's just something we're doing that intrinsically holistic, right? I just want to be clear that, Councilman. These two projects are not contiguous. So, the only issues I would have, and this will probably come up much later on in the design, we have several trail systems now, and I heard you say at some point they may want to look at, we have the Brady Trail, we have the Phoenix Trail, and none of your maps come, well, I won't say that about the Phoenix Trail, but they're not coming close to connecting there. So if we were even 2026 or 2028, how will we get to y'all's trail if we can't get y'all trail to come closer to our trail?
Oh, that's a great question, and I think going into this work, that is one of the, getting an answer to that question is absolutely critical of this work that'll be happening. Is tying all the trail networks together to where they're connecting. So we don't have all the answers right now, but the goal would be to get on a good consulting team and all the communities work together. As you said, we know there's some work to do to connect these. And we need to figure out what the options are and how to best do that.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Orr, Mr. James, I want to thank you both for your efforts. The Reconnecting Communities grant is a game changer for this region, and it didn't come without a lot of work between ARC, our federal partners, our all of our regional partners, and just the advocacy that's happened on every single level, because it takes a village. The fact that you were here asking us for $15,000 for this commitment to move this forward and actually have concrete steps toward improved transportation outside of automotive transportation in our region, concrete steps towards sustainability in the region and improving our waterways and access is just, to me, a no-brainer, because we've got to be thinking regionally on these things. And I know that the parts of Clayton County that don't sit in our city have been deeply, deeply impacted by a lot of things that are happening upstream. So we have a real opportunity here as one great region, as the ARC has given us that slogan to really make a tremendous impact on the South Side. And I appreciate your time and I appreciate the effort thus far.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Next, discussion to establish a utility customer roundup / donation program to assist City of College Park residential utility customers in need of financial assistance. This discussion is sponsored by Councilman Joe Carn, Ward 2.
Councilmember Carn?
All right, William, you got an update for us?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I would like to present to you today the establishing of a donation program for citizens that need utility assistance. And, okay. What is Let's Power Up Our Neighbors and how does it work? First, customers can donate over the amount of the utilities, their utility bill, to help other customers in need to pay their utility bills. This program will be administered by Customer Service Department, and it will be managed by the grants administrator. 100% of the donations goes towards City of College Park customers in need, and residential and commercial customers alike can donate. There's no added cost to donate to the customers. Donations can be made in person, online, and through recurring bills. And then there's no limit to the amount the customers can donate. if you can look up there, that's a picture of the customer portal with our partner Paymentus. And when the customers go to donate online, this is what they're going to see. And as you can see, there's a single line for donations separate from utilities that the customers can make, so it would help them distinguish between paying their utility bill and making a donation. So donations can be made in the customer portal. An additional row shows the donation separate from the utility bill. There's no fee for the donation. This is totally free to customers that want to participate. Donations are voluntary, and participation does not require the use of the customer portal. So, customers say, well, do I have to donate to use the portal? That is not the case. This is just a picture of the donation page showing you the breakout between the utility bill and the donation and the total amount that the customer has to pay. Okay. How do neighbors in need receive assistance? Customers express the need for assistance to customer service either via website, in person, on the phone, or in the email. The grants coordinator will be informed of the inquiry for assistance. So as the customer lets us know, hey, I'm in need, we'll let the grants coordinator know of this need. And from that point, she'll set an appointment so that an application can be completed, and then there are requirements that will be needed. They will have to meet income requirements set by HUD. They will have to attend an appointed schedule meeting with the grants coordinator. They will have to bring the required documents, and then once all that is completed and approved, they will be rewarded with the donated funds from other customers. This screen just goes to show you some of the income requirements that are going to be required by individuals that are asking for assistance. Okay. For a breakdown of the program, this is going to be a one-time award for each customer that receives assistance. There's a maximum of $500 per household, and the utilities that are going to be available are electric, water, sewer, sanitation, and stormwater. And the rewarded payments will be made directly to the customer's account. There's no checks that have to be cut or things of that sort. It will be applied directly to their account. Possible impact. With a customer base of approaching 10,000 customers, we can conservatively forecast that approximately $19,950 annually will be collected based off of a 35% participation for our customer base at a $6 donation rate per donor. And this was pulled from Greystone as we communicate with them about their program, and they gave us these numbers. Customer service, we think this is a win-win for College Park. We think it's a win-win for customers in need of assistance, and we also think it's a win-win for customers that really want to help and show their commitment to the city of College Park and the community. So we'd like to open it up now if you have any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Scott.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember McKenzie?
Well, first of all, thank you, Mr. Scott. Thank you for putting this together, and I know your team helped you as well, I'm sure. The second thing I want to say is I love the name of the program, Power Up Your Neighbor. donation program. You know, just, it is a way for neighbors to help their neighbors, and I totally agree that this is a win-win. How soon do we expect to launch this program?
With your approval, we're ready to start right now. We've built up the infrastructure, and we can start as soon as tomorrow,
Okay.
taking applications and starting to donate what we have. Of course, it's going to take some time to build up the funds. We have a marketing program that our communications department, they've been working with us on. And so we're going to go full-fledged with websites, social media. We're going to be doing text messages and emails and getting the word out, and we really feel like we're going to have a great response.
Okay, and I noticed that this presentation says that the grants administrator, grants manager will be the one handling these funds, which means we're going to have to get somebody real soon to handle, or do you have okay, so within customer service. Got it, okay, wonderful, that was my other question. And the last question that I have is I noticed that it is set up where when a person pays their bill, they can make a donation. Will there be any type of recurring donation where you can sign up, you know, where you just don't have to, every time you pay your bill, you could just have it monthly come out of your bank account?
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Okay, again, I thank you. I think this is in a wonderful way for us to help our citizens, and it is a twofold help for because those that want to give back, this becomes a very feasible way and without a lot of stress, because we're just pushing a button to be able to give back to those that are in need. So again, I want to thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Councilmember Carn?
All right, William, great presentation. This is something that has been a long time coming in the city of College Park. A long time coming, and it's long overdue. City manager, you weren't here, but you know, year after year after year, I would ask about this, and been through many city managers and different councils, and I just could not comprehend how we, you know, could look at this overwhelming force of need and hunger and unemployment throughout many of our streets. Some of our neighborhoods are doing pretty well. But like a resident came up here at the last meeting, said, you know, the majority of our residents are going paycheck to paycheck, month to month here. We just got to be frank about that. And I would ask about doing something along these lines over and over again. And I'm just glad we've had the opportunity to look at this, and I'm hoping that everyone understands what it is I think we're trying to do and feels good about it. I think part of our commission is to, of course, as elected officials, you want to provide the best services for our residents. But, and I know everyone is not necessarily religious, but I am. And another part of our commission is that we do have an obligation, I feel, to do what we can to help those in need in this city that we represent as well. And that's a big part of this. There are a lot of people that are struggling and trying to make it month to month. Heck, we've even had city employees over the years in need. So I'm glad that we're going to try to get this going and get this up and going as soon as possible. Couple of things I wanted to ask you about that I'd like to look at. The estimate of the $19,900 annually, that sounds pretty good. Sounds like a good start. But we may not hit that number, and Althea, I guess you over this ultimately, right? We may not hit that number if we are too restrictive with our process or too stringent with the rules. You follow me? And I guess let me give you an example. We got a great system set up here, and it looks like it's going to work well. But we want to be able to have enough flexibility to bring in the funds when someone wants to give in the way that they want to give. So let's say if someone just doesn't want to sign up and doesn't want to be registered, and they're in in the lobby there, and they reach into their pockets and pull out all the spare change that they may have, or pull out wad of dollar bills. And we're going to be able to we're going to be able to take that, right? No problem.
Yes, sir.
Whether they wanna
In-person
sign up or not.
donation.
I just want to make sure that I want y'all to understand that a lot of people aren't registering for something else that they can get tracked on or online on or social media on or whatever have you. So I just want us to keep that in mind. If someone just wants to give and, well, I don't want to be registered, here. Does that make sense?
We did a day of beta testing
Okay.
at the front, and customers, they were donating above their utility bills, and we're taking cash credit card payments at the.
I think it's going to be a real blessing to the community if we're going to do this. So I'm excited.
Councilmember Arnold.
Thank you. Very, very excellent program. I like the concept. I did have a question in reference to timing. So is there a target amount or date that, is there an amount that you want to achieve before you start to let individuals apply for support?
We're ready to go right now. The beauty of our infrastructure that we have with our grants administrator, she is ready to go. She was very vital in putting this together with us. She's ready to rock and roll. Quietly said, we do have some small amount of funds to go ahead and get started with. Once we hit the marketing and social media and internet and emails, we also have a campaign we're going to do upfront, giving gifts and recognizing our donors. We're expecting a very robust participation upfront. So we're going to start right away with whatever we have.
Okay, maybe I asked I don't think I'm getting exactly what I was asking. I guess what I'm asking is there a threshold? How much money are you trying to raise before you start giving money out?
If we have $200 and we have a person that needs $200, we're willing to go ahead and start with that.
I see. So if you're already out of money and someone applies, then do they just not get money?
We can have a list. I know now with the LAHI program, the funding has been exhausted, and now they're doing a list so they can have on the side. So as the funds catch up with the need, then we already have a list of people we can go ahead and reach out to and keep it going.
Okay.
So the spirit of the program is helping those, so we want to stay within that spirit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Councilmember Day?
Ms. Scott, I got a few questions. The report we get, the delinquent utility customers. So I'm assuming, to Councilmember Cohen's point, you kind of using the federal guidelines for some of the way you're going to distribute money. My question is, since this isn't federal money, you could not be as stringent on the guidelines. So guess what I'm saying is, that's one thing. The second thing I'm saying is, this is my recommendation, this is just me, one person. I think accountability is going to be a little bit difficult, the approach you take. Usually when people raise money, they usually have goals and metrics. So you raise the first 10,000, but just to say, I got 200, hit 200, that I can't picture, hold on. I can't picture that being sound accountability, because the people ain't going nowhere, the debt not going nowhere. So just think about accountability of how you're trying to do it. The third thing I want to suggest to you, two more things. I saw this in some other situations. You could have an anonymous pledge, people that don't want to get their names. And the third thing you could do is you could ask citywide for people to round their bill off to the next dollar. You could raise a lot more money that way. Less accountability than saying, here's a pocket full of coins, here y'all can have this, and then you go figure out who, I can't see you doing.
Okay. As far as the last question you asked about the pledge, we're open to all of those. We have infrastructure that can handle all of those donations. Anonymous pledges, reoccurring pledges, in-person pledges, over the internet, any of those items, we're open to all of those items. As far as the accountability, the money's coming directly into our CIS system, and the money's going to go directly out of our CIS system. The system's going to do the accountability. At any given time, we could print out a ledger showing the in and outs, where the program is at, where the money is at. And it shows who's putting the money in and who's taking the money out. So accountability is taken care of as well.
William,
Yes, sir.
also,
Wait, hold on one second, because do you have any other questions, Councilmember Gay?
The system in place is that WinStar? What
North Star?
North Star.
Yes, sir.
That's the system we're using.
Yes, sir.
So has Director Hicks looked over this through North Star?
We've been working with our finance and accounting department.
I recommend that before you launch this program, that you and the IT director, because I know he supports that program, because we had issues in the past with people bills not being read accurately or people assuming their bills, and I know ultimately he works with the back office in Canada somewhere. I suggest you and him get together before you launch this.
I think Ms. Floyd Bradley's shedding some light on that. Could you?
The infrastructure you're referring to, Mr. Hicks put in place, he helped put that infrastructure in place. It's just an added addition through Paymentus, and he supports it.
I didn't know, that's why.
Yeah, okay.
So, okay. There it is, he answered the question. I don't have any more questions.
All right, Councilmember Carter.
you're following up on Councilmember Gay's suggestions. Maybe we have some type of an options list, like option number one, if you want to do a monthly donation in the amount of $5 every month, that way we don't have to bug you every time you come to pay your bill, or if you want to contribute $10 every month or $2 every month. That way it can be monthly reoccurring. They can do an amount there, selective amount, whatever have you, check, credit card, whatever. And so we want to keep the options open because people want to give in the way that they want to give. So
That's going to be a part of the marketing rollout that we're going to try to give all of those different options.
we want options list when you get ready to go. Now I saw that it included the payments for the obvious stuff out there, electric, water, sanitary sewer, storm water. Also, anybody paying into the city, if you come to pay your property taxes and you want to give something, I want you to be able to give as well there. If someone wants to give, we want to encourage them to give. All right, okay. Well, I want to make sure it just includes any outlets where we're getting funds from. So, if somebody's signing up for Parks and Rec and they want to throw something in, I think anywhere where we get money, I think the ask should be there, outside of police department and tickets, citations. But outside of that, I think we want to make sure we're as wide open as we can be. So, yeah, sounds good.
Thank you, Mr. Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have our special event permits. Discussion on a request from Eta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated to host Gloria Chapman Walkathon on July 23rd, 2024 from 12:30 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. at the Atlanta Airport Marriott Gateway Hotel. This request is from me. This event will be held in Ward 2.
Hi, good evening,
Good
Mayor,
evening.
staff, and councilmen. Yes, Eta Phi Beta is a 82-year-old sorority founded in Detroit, but we do have a chapter here in the Atlanta area. What we do every 2 years, we host a biannual national conference where ladies from 44 chapters get together, come to the city to do work, business work, as you're doing here, as well as entertain, dine, have fun. And one of the activities that we do every year in honor of one of our past presidents, her name was Gloria Chapman, and she was instrumental in starting our signature program, which is the Individually Developmentally Disabled. That was her program that she funded, and that was her the honor that they bestowed upon her was to do a half-a-mile walk, regardless of what city. So every 2 years, the city is selected. This year, Atlanta has been selected, Atlanta metropolitan area, to be exact, has been selected to host. And one of the activities is we had to get together and figure out one hotel, and the Gateway Hotel, being right with Martyr coming into it, was a perfect location, and it was close to the city. So that's why you were chosen here. We just want to make sure that we entertain these ladies as we do every year. It's a half-a-mile walk again. We're going to have walking stations along the little path, and the path is for that complex. It's going to start in front of the Marriott Hotel door. Just walk down to where the intersection stops. We're not going to go onto, I think it's Airport Boulevard, where the racetrack is. We will not be going there. We're just turning around and coming back. And it's really just to pay homage. We're going to ask for 2 patrol cars to, escort us for the traffic control. Okay. Oh, it is a public event. So if you guys are on, because it's during lunchtime on a Tuesday, so if you guys need some recreational time, please join us. We also going to send the flyer out so that you can post it to your city for event information. Then it's open to the public. We also have a couple of other open to the public events, and one we would love, Mayor, if you are available, as well as I believe Mr. Karn, because this is your ward, and you other ladies in your wards as well. We would love for you guys to come out for our opening official ceremony. That's where we welcome all the sisters and welcome them to Atlanta. And it's really nice. We do color guards. We have, I think we're looking, we do need a band. We need color. Color guards, I'm sorry. Color guards. So we are looking for a color guard to fill that spot, but just different fun activities to welcome everyone to the city.
Excellent. Any questions, Councilmember McKenzie?
Well, I just want to thank the ladies of Phi Beta Sorority
Incorporated.
for coming to College Park, of
Yes.
all the places in the United
That's
States,
right.
being that you all are originally from Detroit. I think, so it's an honor that you would consider us. And I love the fact that the walk is just my speed, a half a mile. I can do that. So I'm excited about it, and I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you for coming tonight as well.
Thank you.
Councilmember Carn?
Sounds like a great event. We're honored to have you all in our city. Thank you for choosing us. And do you have a flyer for this?
I am going to get it to her. I did it to you already? Oh, okay.
And I
Yes.
asked because I have a community meeting tomorrow night. So I'd
Oh,
like to
awesome.
have that. in
She'll have it
addition-
as soon as I walk
additional
out the door.
information, Since this is open to the public. And when is your opening ceremony you mentioned?
It's actually Monday night, July 22nd, it's from 3 to 5.
City manager, we just want to make sure that communications has all of this, and we're putting it out on the website, on the television station. Again, this is
That'll
open
be
to
awesome.
the public as well.
Yes, it is. It's open to the public and to the officials. We would love to have you come and represent and walk in the stroll,
I can
because
do
we do
that
a
one.
stroll.
I can do that one.
And come and stroll in the procession to officially open up the city of Atlanta.
We want as many of our residents as possible to
Oh,
know
that would be
about it,
awesome.
so that they can attend and participate. And lastly, we got some great bands around here. Tri-Cities High School and Banneker High School. They're in summer band camp. You want to reach out to them, I would suggest. And we got some great kids that will
Okay.
definitely get the job done for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, so yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'll get her the flyer, because just want to know too, we also having a red and gold ball, so if you like, you know, you want to dress up fancy.
Talent show.
Damn, oh, I did write these down. We actually have the talent night, which is a family night, so a lot of our sorors will come in, and they have family here, get together. We have a queen bee pageant, so a lot of the ladies will come, full gown, head crowns and everything, and present as well. So, all open and free to the public? No, I'm sorry, those weren't. The ball ones.
The ball.
The ball.
The ball cost.
Yes.
And then
Sorry.
all of this is in College Park at
Yes,
at the
at the
Marriott?
Atlanta, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
The same night, or is this just?
It's a week long. We're here for a week long. So yes, the flyer will have everything in detail for her.
Councilmember Arnold?
As both of my colleagues have previously said, thank you for choosing College Park. We really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Gay?
Welcome as well. I was just curious, if this sorority isn't a member of the Panhellenic Council,
We are not. We're a professional business and professional women's
okay,
organization.
that's what I was wondering. So where's the chapter here?
You said, where is it?
This chapter here?
It's
Oh, it's-
here in Atlanta, and we actually meet every month at the Atlanta Community Food Bank.
Yep.
Right down the street.
So how do people join your organization?
Oh, well, you go to our website, of course, and I'll put all of that information for her. Go to our website, or actually, we can reach out to anybody. There's a contact form on the website, and we'll come out, we'll speak, and talk to the ladies.
We have
Okay.
a soiree this summer
All
also
right.
during that same event.
Thank you.
Oh, that's right, I did. They just brought on, I just remembered that.
Membership informational session that same week.
Yes, I forgot they added that on at the end.
Also, we've got some summer stuff coming up, some festivals, the Kids Fest. We've got a
Yes,
lot
and
of
we do
sorority.
have a youth group.
We'd like
And that
to
was
see
just
y'all, if y'all, we're taking vendors.
Yes.
And vendors, it's pretty much free. You give a $50 gift card if you want to be a vendor that we give away. But we'd love to have y'all participate in some of the other stuff we're doing too.
We would
Oh,
love
that
to.
sounds great.
Another thing that sets us apart also is that we are a family organization. I was sharing that one of the other things that sets us apart is that we are a family organization, which means we do have a male counterpart. They're called shads. And then we also have a youth group.
That's true.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next event discussion on a request from Sip and Sit ATL to host Summer Soul Festival on July 27, 2024, from 12:30 p.m. until 8 p.m. at Charles E. Phillip Park, Esquire Park. This request is from me. This is in Ward 4.
Any questions about this event for Ms. Brown? Councilmember McKenzie?
Okay, so basically, I did have a question in terms of, so no one's here for this event? Okay, I won't ask it now. Okay.
Oh, Councilmember Carn?
All right, so this outfit wants to have a summer festival.
Yes, this is a repeat. They came 3 meetings ago, and they had another event in Phillips Park before.
Well, yeah, city manager, at some point, we gotta come up with some kind of mechanism where, these parks are, they're community parks. Now, unless we decide to change these into, festival level parks where anybody can come in and have any kind of festival they want. I mean, we need to, that's just something I want us to take a look at. Essentially, somebody could come in and say, well, I want to utilize the park and reserve the pavilions and pay a little bit of money, and 4,000 people show up. And they're making hand over fist and charging this or whatever have you at the gate. But I don't know exactly how we come up with something where there's a community need for the parks. There's a small need, like we've had a sorority come and utilize a park, for instance, with numbers, under 100 or under 50 or whatever it is. But when you get to those bigger numbers, and I don't know what these numbers are going to be, but we need to establish some ordinances or a significant, serious fee for that if we're going to do something. If we're going to do something on that scale, we just can't give away, just come and have whatever kind of festival, whatever size you want here. But that's just me. So I want to look at some of that before we start doing a whole lot of these, and get some guidelines in place.
Councilmember Arnold?
I guess since the individual is not here, do we know whether or not if tickets are going to be sold for this event, or?
So it's, from what was explained